live with you today, just me and Christina. Excited to be here. We wanted to go live just to talk about the meetup or the meeting that we had to talk about the whole year, our annual meeting. And sorry, it's been like a week or two. How long has it been? A week since the planning? Feels longer ago than that. But we've been busy and haven't been able to go live yet. But we're going to go live today and just kind of talk about what we planned and what's coming for Merch Money. Lots of exciting things. So we're really excited for the year. Oh, Laura's in here. Hey, Laura. We'll wait a couple minutes, let more people sign on. One of the things we talked about during the meeting is just about how we wanted to stream multiple places instead of just YouTube. So that's something we're doing right now. So for those of you that are listening on the replay, you could be listening in many places. You could be listening on our podcast. You could be listening on YouTube, Facebook, mastermind groups, all kinds of places. So thank you, all of you who are watching live and all of you that are watching the replay.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I know. And if you are watching the replay, be sure to like the video and subscribe. We have not normally been very good at telling people to do that, but that is one of the things we're going to work on this year. It helps us a lot if you subscribe. So hope that you guys could do that. Hey, Christopher. Hey, Dwayne. So we'll just let a few more people in. Be sure to comment where you're watching from too. It's so nice that we could just do multiple places at once. I really like that.
Yeah, me too.
So tell us, Christina, I think you should tell us the idea for the annual meeting and your experience with planning it, because I thought it was just fantastic.
Yeah. So for those of you that know, I used to work in kind of corporate America for many years and ran very large territories and had multiple managers and business units and sometimes big states underneath me. And trying to do a plan or a goal setting each year, I found that over time, when I first started, I would set goals for everyone and said, okay, here's what we're going to do for the year. This is what you're going to do in your business. But then I found that getting people involved in the process and having them help collaborate and come up with those ideas, it worked 100 times better. If they felt like they were part of the process and we could all get together and sort of brainstorm together and start with like big picture items and then sort of work our way down to actionable tasks under each of those, I found that that's how I was able to get all of my business units achieving their goals every year. And they really like took ownership of those things. So I decided that would be something that Helen and I could do this year, because we're both part of Merch Money. And I came in kind of late last year. So I was just kind of getting used to everything. And then I thought, you know what, let's meet, let's do it like I used to do it and see what happens. Because I don't know that there's a whole lot of that goes on in the print on demand or entrepreneur community. Most things are done probably virtually. But I thought it was, really awesome for us to like go meet, have an offsite meeting, almost like a strategic planning session to start the year off.
And I loved that idea. I am just so blessed. I can't believe that Christina has so much experience. It's so nice to be proactive. Like a lot of us in the Facebook groups were just very reactive. Like whatever happens, we just immediately go towards that and just sort of are all over the place, which is not necessarily bad, but it's nice to sprinkle in some structure as well. So it was really nice to be proactive and think about what do we actually want to do this year and how do we want to structure everything. So it was really, really good meeting. And it was amazing how much we could get done in a day. Like I was just blown away. We met for 2 days. And after the first day, I was just like, oh my God, like we already got done more than I thought we would get done the whole time. So it was very, very good. And guys, thank you so much. So everybody's starting to come in. We've got everybody saying where they're from and where they're watching. And one person, sorry, it's not showing your name for me right now, but is watching on the Vine app. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's Jacob Bates, actually. It
Oh
looks
my
like.
God, Jacob, how does that work? I didn't even know. I
I don't know.
didn't even know we could stream there. Maybe you can, I don't know how the Vine app works.
That's awesome, though. We're going to have to
Yeah.
look into that.
And then we've got, seems like a pretty equal people watching Facebook, people watching on YouTube all over the country. We've got Ohio and Delaware and Chicago. So thank you guys all so much. And feel free to comment and ask questions or say anything that you would like us to do this year as well as we're going through everything. So Christina said this idea. I said, oh my gosh, that's an amazing idea. We decided to meet in person because we were thinking like, should we do this virtually? Should we do it just online? And we decided it'd be better in person so we could really focus and just black out all distractions and just really focus for a day, almost 2 days. So we did that, and we put up, basically we got those Post-it sheets of paper that you can put on the wall. And we did different sheets of paper for all different categories. So one of the things we talked about was, I don't even know where you want to begin. We talked about the mastermind. We talked about the Facebook group. We talked about the YouTube channel. So one thing that we talked about in the Facebook group was how we wanted to thank people that contribute a lot to the group. So we were thinking about ways that we could do that. And we may have evolved this over time and add more and more ways. But to start out, what we want to do is the person that is the top contributor for the month, we want to give them 1 free month access to our mastermind group, just as a thank you for being, the most active in the group. So we are going to check who is the most active once a month at the end of the month. So what shows up as active is commenting on Facebook posts, posting your own posts. And if you do post your own posts, they go through an approval process. So if it doesn't get approved, it means that it probably was trying to sell something without asking first. We try to not have it be, you would be amazed how many sales posts there'd be if we didn't block it. It'd be about 15 a day at least. So if you do want to sell something, you got to talk to us first and make sure it's something that would benefit the group. But most posts, as long as it's just something, either a question or a tip that you have, that's fine. And generally, YouTube videos are fine to post. Occasionally, if it seems like it doesn't make any sense or it's not related to the group or it's just purely trying to sell something, we might decline those. But in general, a YouTube post is okay. But any kind of tip that you have, any question that you have, definitely post that in the group. Comment on posts. All of that counts. Just liking posts, I don't think that YouTube counts that as part of the top contributor list. It's just posting a post or writing a comment.
Yep. And we love it when you help each other out. So, we don't have all the answers. And a lot of you are more experienced than we are with certain things. So, never hesitate to jump in and help someone else out when they post a question. It's intended for the whole group, not just for us. So
yes. And never feel bad about leaving a tip. I feel like people sometimes think oh, it's their group, so they have to be the only ones who leave a tip, or you might not want to step on toes or something like that. But we won't take offense at all if you give tips or your own suggestions. We think that's great to help each other out.
Yeah. And you might think that everyone knows the tip that you're going to share, but you might be surprised. There might be a lot of people who have no idea. We've got people with all varying skill levels in the group. So just because you think it's a beginner thing and you think everyone knows, post it. Some people really might not have heard of that method, or whatever it is that you're sharing.
Absolutely. And it can be different areas too. Like some people, they come from all different experiences. Like Christina has corporate background and she's very organized and she's very good at coming up with training material and all kinds of stuff. Whatever background you come from, some of that applies to merch. A lot of people struggle with organization and structure and things like that. So it's okay to post something like that, even if it's not 100% directly related to print on demand. If it would help someone in the print on demand business, that's okay too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's one new thing, is that we're going to make sure that we reward the top contributor each month. Another thing is, well, let's talk about the mastermind group. Let's go there. A lot of the day was planning out exactly how we want that group to go, because we want it to be very organized and we want it to be something that will help people doing all kinds of different aspects of print on demand. But we don't want it to be all over the place where we talk about one thing one day and then something else the other day. We wanted it to be a nice flow where everything we're talking about could help you and have like a nice, smooth progression throughout the year. So one of the things in the mastermind group, we're going live every Tuesday in that group, and we're going to be covering all different topics. So related to what the focus will be. So we're going to go in 2-month modules in the group and have a main focus for that module. And it's going to start with a webinar. And then from there, we're going to break it down into more steps. So it'll be a general webinar in the beginning. And then the rest of the 2 months will be going more into detail about those topics. And we're going to go live every Tuesday to answer your questions and just talk about another aspect of the main topic.
Yep. It's going to be kind of a similar format to challenges that you've seen previously, but instead of kind of like a daily video, we are spreading the content out over like 8 weeks for each module, basically. So it'll be 8 weeks of content, and you'll keep everything. So you'll get the main webinar in the beginning. Each week we'll have action steps and additional content details, and having you put all of the things that you learned into practice that week, and then coming back the next week, answering questions, and then rolling out the next piece of that module. So and we've got the entire year planned out with the modules so that they kind of build on each other. So we're starting, and this was Helen's idea. She kind of thought through the flow, and I was like, that's perfect.
Because you guys all know, like, I like to focus. It's very, very hard for me to do more than one thing at a time, which is the opposite of almost everyone else. Most people are all shiny object syndrome, but we wanted to have a mix of both, because it's important to not just do merch. That's what I did for couple years, like just do one thing. You want to kind of take advantage of all the opportunities out there. You don't want to be just stuck in one area, but at the same time, you don't want to be having to worry about so many different things at the same time. So we carefully planned out a very good flow where you can use, the first one is going to be KDP. So we really wanted to help you use everything that you can use for KDP can also be used on other platforms. So after that module, it'll kind of roll into the next module of ways you can use what you learned in the KDP module, how you can apply it to other areas like Etsy and Amazon Ignite and all of that.
Yep.
Hey, Amy. Saw Amy join. Susan, Lynn, Val. Thank you, guys. Oh, and Sheila. Hey, Sheila. This is great.
Yes. And I apologize if my dogs bark. The UPS man is coming down the driveway, so I've been trying to mute myself. So yeah, this is the usual 12:30. Yep. All of our mastermind people know this routine. So
I didn't even think about that. We probably should move the time, but anyway, it's fine. So anyway, so what do you guys think about that? Any comments? I know we've got some people in the mastermind group, so we've kind of talked to them a little bit about that already. But it's so nice to know exactly what's happening every week. So we have it all planned out. So that's about the mastermind group. What else you want to talk about?
And if I keep looking up and to the left, I have all of those like our big things posted on the wall here.
Oh
so that's why I keep looking up and going, okay, what am I talking about now? So
oh my gosh. Well, I took pictures of all of those pieces of paper and I combined them together into kind of like a what do you call those things? Kind of like a vision board almost. So I could look at that. Let's see. Amy's saying, didn't hear much. So big site. What's being discussed? Oh, Amy, we're just discussing everything that we talked about during the annual meeting that we had. So Christina and I met up in Columbus and we had a meeting for 2 days. So we're talking about that meeting. Christina can't talk. She has to be muted because of the UPS guy. But anyway, so Amy, we talked about how we are going to do a reward for the person who's the most active in the group. So the top contributor each month is going to get 1 month free access into the mastermind group. And then we also talked about the mastermind group, exactly how we planned it out for the year. And we didn't go into every single module, what it's going to be about, but just the general format of it.
Yeah, and basically to recap, it's kind of a new module every 2 months.
Yes.
We'll be releasing a new webinar and 8 weeks of action items and lives and things of that nature to help everyone utilize what they learned during the webinar.
Yes. And we also talked about how we planned it to be a good flow, because a lot of people feel like they get shiny ball syndrome or whatever, shiny object syndrome, where they just want to go from one thing to the next and they never really focus on anything. And then there's the other extreme that I'm on, which is like so focused that you don't take advantage of all these things available. So we try to have a mixture of both, where each module is fairly focused on one particular aspect of print on demand. But we help you take what you learn in that module and apply it to the other platforms. So KDP is going to be, we're in one right now still about Jacob Topping's book, Merge in the World of Print on Demand. But once that topic is over, we're going to go into KDP. And then everything that you learn in the KDP module, the next one will help you use it on other platforms. So for instance, maybe printables on Etsy. Maybe you want to use it for Amazon Ignite. We'll kind of talk about ways to use what you learned on that platform and how to apply it to other platforms.
Yep.
Okay, and then what else did we talk about? We talked about various different meetups. I'm going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina, February 6th and 7th. So we will be posting details about that. I'm going to be there for a Amazon reseller meetup, but I also want to have a merch meetup while I'm there. So we talked about all different meetups and conferences. We thought about all of the conferences all year and tried to figure out the ones we most wanted to go to, because there's so many. So we'll see. Last year I thought it was a lot that we did. I think we did 12 meetups and conferences, and I felt like that was a lot. I feel like this year it's going to be like way more, because there's so many. But we'll see. We'll do our best to not get overwhelmed with meetups and conferences. But they're so fun. I mean, you end up meeting so many people. The reason I'm going to this reseller meetup is because I met the person that runs that meetup at Ecom Chicago. So, everything leads to everything else. Oh, hey, Jacqueline. Yep. This is always a good time for Jacqueline. Jacqueline's in the UK, right? I think.
Yes.
So, that's the big thing. That's the main thing I want to talk about. I almost forgot, got carried away. So we decided that we wanted to add an additional show every week. So for YouTube, we've been going live Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Monday for a year and a half. But now we're going to add in Thursdays at noon Eastern Standard Time. The reason we wanted to add noon Eastern Standard Time is for everyone in Europe, because I've gotten so many messages where they have trouble. They want to watch a live show, but it's the middle of the night for them. Or I ask them if they can be a guest on the show, and they don't want to because it's 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. for them. So, although some people have still done it. We've had, I think, 3 or 4 people come on the show at 2 a.m. So thank you to everyone who did that. But we decided, you know what? It's a little much to ask. We should add in a show that is more conducive to everyone in Europe. So that's going to be at noon on Thursdays. So it'll be, depending on where you are in Europe, it'll be 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. your time. So that'll be fun. And then we also are going to have more tutorial-based videos. Definitely in the mastermind group. That one, there's going to be tons of tutorials, but also on our regular YouTube channel. Some of our guests are going to actually do tutorials live with us and go into more detail about how to make designs and all different things, how to use different tools. So we're going to have a lot more tutorials, not just interviews.
Yep.
But all week, I've been busy asking people to be on the show. So we have both days filled up for most of February, and I think a few in March already. So we got it all scheduled out.
Yep. And we'll have a more regular schedule of posts on social media, to pull in different resources and tips and tricks and all sorts of things, just to keep you all updated on, the newest things. And I think creating more of a learning community overall. So.
Yes. I think when I started this group, I didn't do tutorials because I was still learning myself. So I did interviews purely because I wanted to learn. So that's why this show started off as interviewing all different people in the community. Now I know more. And obviously, Christina's amazing. She knows a lot too. So we'll be able to do more tutorials. But plus, there's so many people that we've either had on the show or want to have on the show that are also great with tutorials. So they'll be able to show us some things too.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. And the other thing that some of you that came in late may have missed is that we'll be rewarding the top contributor in our Facebook group each month. So we'll be looking at that at the end of each month. It'll start at the beginning or at the end of February. So now through February. And we'll be looking at who, posts the most, who comments the most, and the person who is at that top spot will receive a free month in the Merch Money Mastermind group. So, and it's just to say thank you for, being engaging and helping others, and either, posting questions or posting tips or, whatever it may be. So.
And Facebook calculates that for us. So Facebook will say who is the top contributor. So I don't want anyone to think it's not fair or that we missed your post or anything like that. It's calculated automatically. And actual post in the group is weighed more heavily than a comment, but both count. Comments and posts both count towards that.
Yep.
Yeah. So that we're excited about that. We're just so excited about how much engagement there already is, even without this contest. We really appreciate everyone's posts and everyone's comments. There's so often where I'll approve a post, but I'll be doing something, so I won't be able to answer right that second. And then I'll go back to answer it, and there's already like 3 or 4 people that answered the question. And it just makes me so happy. So thank you guys for doing that. Okay, lots of questions about the mastermind group, and I'm so sorry. I don't think I even posted the link in this video. So I'll do that afterwards, post the link to it. And I'm sure we'll do some posts, throughout the week to just let you know more about it. It's one of the pinned posts right now in the Facebook group. Oh, people like your hair. Yep. Every video since Christina's redid her hair, people have loved it. So.
Yeah.
You look
Now
awesome.
I'm already tired of it. I'm like ready for another change. So.
People always like my hair right before I'm ready to go to the salon to like get it
Yeah.
cut or dyed or whatever. It's always like when I feel like it's at my worst, I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, there's white hairs everywhere. But anyway, okay, so Dwayne, the top contributor is for the main Facebook group. So we have a main Facebook group. It's getting close to 10,000. I don't remember the number. That's the group we're talking about. The mastermind group, everyone contributes in that. That one's a little different. We although we probably should, but right now we're not doing a top contributor in there. Or maybe we should. I don't know. What do you think?
That's a great idea. Yeah, we'll come up with something, I think that we could do it for both groups. So
maybe like a private coaching or something for the top contributor.
Yeah, that would be good. Yep, we can do that.
Okay, so mastermind group, you're included. So top contributor in that group will get a coaching from Christina and I. And then the main group, whoever's the top contributor in that group, you'll get a free month in the mastermind group. The mastermind group also has so many webinars. So it's gonna right now, I think, well, I guess they're not so many yet. We have one main one in there right now, but we have so many because I'm thinking of all the ones that are about to be posted. Yeah. But we're about to have 3 or 4 in there. And then every 2 months we're posting another one.
Yeah. So. And if you're in the mastermind group, then you get the webinar for free. If you are purchasing the webinars separately, then you get like a month or 2 in the mastermind along with that webinar. So, and it's just to kind of give you a taste of that group. I know there's a lot of different groups out there to join and things like that. And this is something we started toward the end of last year, I think October, November. And it was actually right after the Etsy challenge, because we had a private group during the Etsy challenge that was part of one of our, special offers or whatever. And we found that the people working in that group were really getting a lot from it. And they were, more willing to share really specific things because they felt that it was more of like a safe environment, a more close-knit community. So, so that's kind of how we did the spin-off into the mastermind. And most of the members in the mastermind group actually have subscribed to it on an annual plan basis. So they're finding so much value that they've said, okay, we're going to stick with you for a year. And that's amazing to me, So we want to keep giving and make it, more value than what they could ever imagine. So,
yeah. And the reason, because some people might be like, well, why would you start another group? You already have the one group. And trust me, like I have not slowed down with posting in the main group. Most people have not noticed any difference. I think I actually post more than I used to. So it's not like we're abandoning the main group. The main group is still, of course, one of our big focuses. But the reason to have a little bit smaller mastermind group is just for people that are very dedicated to print on demand. And this is like something they are focusing a lot of their energy on learning and becoming, the best they can be with print on demand. So it just makes it so that it's a little bit more focused and a little just something where they can all know each other in the group and just all feel like almost like part of a team or part of a family. Like it's just a nice community to just have something a little smaller where everybody can know each other.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Sheila and Lynn. Both of you are saying nice things.
Yes. I'm going to look at my wall here to see what else we haven't talked about yet.
It was, guys, I think anyone that has not ever experienced an annual planning session, I wish everyone could have that experience with Christina, because I've never experienced anything like it. Like it was so good and it was so organized. And it's just amazing what you can accomplish in a day if you just sit down and plan it all out. And we have it on our calendar. We get notifications of when we're going live, when, different things are happening. The blog. Speaking of which, that's another thing. So we have a blog on our website. It's very inactive. We've just very sporadically posted things. So if you go to merchmoney.com, you can click on the blog section and you will see that we are going to be posting blogs. One of the posts is going to be about Creative Fabrica, and they actually are going to post something about us on their blog as well. So that's coming in the next, 2 to 4 weeks. But then we're also going to be posting just all kinds of stuff that, is helpful about all different topics, and also just about whoever we have that week on the show. We'll do a blog post about that as well.
Yeah, we're happy to report that our very first blog post was sort of a recap of the show with Amy Herberger. So,
Amy, yeah. If you're still watching, you were, it wasn't technically the first blog post, but it was the first blog post that Christina and I have done, just the two of us. Because Brianna had kind of been in charge of it before that. So there's some previous ones, but we did it during the annual training. I'm like, Christina, we got to hurry up and just do this, because we kept putting off the blog for the last couple months. So, yep, Amy said I am. Yep, you are. We did it just real quick while we were both sitting there together. We're like, okay, let's learn how to do this. So we did it right there. So it's not very... it doesn't do you justice, Amy. We definitely should have spent more time and made it much better, but it was learning for us. So thank you for helping us just get that out there.
Yes.
So, and that's something else we got to work on this year, is the website. We have stuff up there, but it's not, it hasn't been as much of a focus last year. So this year we'll work on that as well.
Yep. And we're also, as Helen mentioned, we're adding that extra show, but we're also reaching out to people in the community that have products and services. And we're continuing to try to build strategic partnerships with those companies and secure some unique offers for our audience. So any sort of like special discounts that we can get you guys, special packages, things of that nature. So that's something that we're, that Helen especially is very active in doing right now, as she's, scheduling guests and things like that. We're reaching out to try to get you guys some good discounts and offers. So,
yep. And it's just exciting. So many good things this year. We also are trying to be much more strategic with our posts. So instead of like last year, I would just kind of post anytime I felt like it, which I'll probably still do, but also try to be a little bit more making sure we're covering all the bases and being purposeful with our posts. So one thing I've been doing is I've kind of always woken up early, but I haven't been very, I wouldn't call it a morning routine. Like you hear about all these successful people having morning routines. And I feel like mine was sort of just the morning. Like it just sort of like no rhyme or reason to it. I would just start work whenever I kind of felt like it and just sort of, I don't know, have a cup of coffee and wake up slowly. That was kind of my morning. But now I've read Miracle Morning. And it just helps you organize your morning a little better and be a little bit more, I don't know the word, purposeful, I guess. And so that's helping a lot, because by the time you're done with those steps of the Miracle Morning, you have so much energy and you're ready to go the rest of the day. So part of my posts have just been posting at least one quote from the book that I'm reading every morning. So things like that, like we have set times and set purposes for what we're posting. So that's one that I'm doing every day, is posting from my morning routine. But then Christina has, oh my gosh, you're amazing. Like how the stuff you got to tell them about what you found for posts.
Oh yeah. So I've been looking for, a way to diversify what we're posting in our group, but have kind of a regular schedule. So I found this content calendar idea, and it's 30 days of different topics. And it sort of groups them. So we've put together this huge, Airtable basically for the entire rest of the year, using those 30 different days each month for different content that we'll be sharing and, different things like that. So we're excited about that because it's going to allow us to, think differently, because a lot of times we've posted, we do inspirational posts, we do quotes, we do certain things very regularly, but this has really got us thinking outside the box and going out and like locating different types of content on the web to pull in.
Yeah. For example, one of the things they recommend you post every once a month was frequently asked questions. And I'm like, why don't we do that? I've literally never done a post about a frequently asked question. Instead, I just answer it every time someone asks. So I'm like, just stuff like that. It's like, duh, why have I not been doing that? So it makes it more organized, where we can be like, okay, this day we answer frequently asked question and post it. So just, it's all basic, but there's so much to cover that you forget stuff. So without that calendar, we would just forget, like wouldn't post a frequently asked question. And there's other things like that. So like a tip or a frequently asked question, or just an article or whatever. They have different ideas for each day. So I thought that was organized already by itself, but then Christina took it to the next level of literally the whole year is planned out. So like we have the frequently asked questions for each year, month. Yeah. So you guys probably haven't seen that yet because it's still being all filled out in the Airtable. But by next month, you'll start to see like set kind of posts that go out. But it's going to be really good, and it's going to cover everything. Yeah. So there won't be a lot that gets left out or forgotten about.
Yeah. And this will help us, we talked about it last year and it never really came to fruition. And, we've talked about using VAs to kind of help us, manage parts of the Merch Money group and different things like that. But we didn't really have systems in place. So it would have been a little bit more difficult for us to train someone on what to do, when to do it, all of those things. So we're starting to, put these systems in place so that we can eventually, if needed, bring in some VA help, and they can kind of help us manage the groups if we need that. So,
yeah. So we're excited about that. Building systems is always a good idea. So that's something we'll be able to talk about more and more as time goes on, as we get better at it. I mean, Christina can already talk about it. I'm still learning, but having a system in place is so important. Even if you don't outsource it, even if you just do it yourself, it ends up saving so much time because you don't have to think about it. It's just, you already know, like, this is my system, this is what I'm doing. And it just makes it so the whole thing just goes more smoothly with a lot less stress. So even like for all the people that want to be doing 9,000 different things, it's not necessarily bad. You probably can do it, but you just need to have systems in place of how are you going to actually do this. So it helps a lot. What else? We covered a lot. I think a lot of it you guys will see as time goes on. You'll see the meetups and the conferences and things like that. I'll be posting in the next day or two. The next meetup coming up is going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. And Ecom Chicago's here. But that's Rich. I think it's Bill that's planning the Raleigh meetup.
Oh, yeah.
But I had met him at Ecom Chicago.
No, I think we covered just about all of it from what I can see.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sure we'll, talk more about it as time goes on and as we, add more to it. But that's what we have so far. So the Thursday shows are starting in February, which is only, 10, 11 days away? I can't believe February is almost here. Although January has already been such a busy month. We've gotten so much done this month. Already had 2 meetups. went to Connecticut, went to Columbus. So,
Yeah.
And then just a lot of other stuff. It's been great. Oh, and
Yes,
thank you.
and just,
If any of you are watching that saw me from Steve Rakin's channel, he did like an Instagram post. So we got some new people from Instagram. So welcome if you're one of those people. There'll be videos soon. I gotta reach out to him. He's gonna send me the video probably sometime this week. So, and then tonight we have Ashley on the show. So definitely watch that. Ashley, I met at 2 different meetups, Columbus and Raleigh. She's amazing at everything. And she's really good at, I guess you could say that multitasking. I don't know what the right word is, but she's good at doing a lot of different things well.
yes.
All at the same time without dropping the ball on any of them. So I don't.
And she's got like 4 kids on top of all of this too. So I'm like, how do you do it?
Yeah. So it's just a matter of she's organized and she can do it. Sheila's saying, I don't know how you fit all the traveling in.
I know.
I know. It's going to be an exciting year. I'll get better and better at it as time goes on.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've got some good comments here.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. This is such a good comment feed. And you might not all be seeing it because it's on so many platforms. So you might not realize, but we're seeing it all compiled together, all the different platforms in one comment feed. And it's like awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So if any of you want to be on the show, send me a message and let me know, because I'm reaching out to people that I may just not know or have missed you. So definitely reach out to me if you're interested. If you want to do be in the mastermind group, you can comment below about that too. But I'll add the link at some point.
Yes, perfect. And if you have any ideas or you need anything from us, let us know. Drop us questions and comments in the Facebook group and say, I'm really struggling with this. Do you guys know of any videos or resources or, whatever the case is? Don't ever be afraid to ask, or there's no stupid question. I mean, we've probably all had the same question that you have. So,
yep. All right. Well, thanks so much. And thank you guys all for watching. And we'll see you guys in a few hours. We'll be live 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. See you guys then.
All right. Bye.
Bye.